Good afternoon. Steve here again, this time with a presentation on a walkthrough of my collateral management tool using Airtable. It's been my experience in the past with my clients that the Windows folder, Excel spreadsheet, email does not particularly serve a good system of record or management tool. And as a result, there's so many situations where a letter of credit, for example, expires and everybody's running around with their heads cut off trying to get it back in place so that there's no breach under the agreement. So I decided to create a very simple tool, but because of the power of Airtable, which provides transparency and accountability in a shared workspace in the cloud, less likely to result in those kinds of errors. So I start out with my basic table or base. It's called Collateral Management. There's a little I here that has a description of what the this legal tech app that I've created does. I also have for each of the fields in any table a little I which explains what that field is supposed to be for, and I will explain them very quickly as we go through this. Now I've created 5 tables. I call them registries. So there's a letter of credit registry, a corporate guarantee registry, a surety bond registry, a cash registry, and then a list of states that we will use as a means of linking. The letter of credit registry begins with a unique ID, which is automatically generated based on information you put in these other fields. So you have here a drop-down menu for a beneficiary field, an LC number, which is usually on the letter of credit, a field here for the face amount of the letter of credit, its effective date, its termination date, the issuer of the LC, which is a drop-down for whatever bank has issued it, a field for indicating whether it's an evergreen LC, meaning that it's automatically renewed. In most cases, that's not the case. They're usually only about a year, but it could happen. And then the effective date, date difference between when the date was issued and the date that it's going to be terminated over here. This will be used as a field for setting up alarms in your blocks so that you won't be caught unawares of an LC about to expire. I've used a 60-day window to sort of give you a heads up. In this field, of course, I think is most important is the LC execution copy itself. Something you can't do in an Excel spreadsheet is to actually put the document in there. And so whether you're looking at it from your desktop or your phone, if you for some reason needed to look at the letter of credit, you could literally click on it and open it and review it at your convenience. With the letter of credit registry, you also have multiple views. There's a letter of credit input form that I created so that you could actually share this form, put it out on the website, and if you had an analyst or admin who was just inputting information from letters of credit, they could just use this form and has different fields to fill out and an explanation of also what's to go into that field. It's just an easier way than having them access the table and putting information in. This can go in this way. You also have various views I've sorted based on the beneficiary, the active LCs, the 60-day review of ones that are going to come due in 60 days, inactive LCs by LC issuer, a calendar view that looks something like this that would give you a view of when an LC might be coming up for renewal. There's a Kanban view, which you could set up if you wanted to, in terms of who would be doing the renewing if there was such a thing. There's even a kind of a gallery view too. The other table here is the corporate guaranteed So it's another form of collateral. Again, here you would have fields uniquely suited to corporate guarantees. This would also be a unique ID, which would be automatically generated from the input you put in these other fields. So you would have the name of the guarantee put into is a drop-down choice, and you would add new ones as you saw fit. These are all, of course, fake names, but you get the idea. As an example, you would have the same thing: a drop-down for the guarantor, a drop-down for the beneficiary. You also have the ability to indicate whether it's an outgoing or incoming guarantee, meaning is it your parent or you issuing the guarantee for another party, or is it you receiving the guarantee, which is an incoming guarantee. You would have a federal financial security number for the guarantee. Is the amount capped? For outgoing guarantees, general policy is that you would want to cap your guarantees so you don't have unlimited exposure. Then there's a face amount of what the guarantee is for. Then you have your effective date. Again, notation of, is it evergreen or not? The expiration date and a filed copy. Again, like with the letters of credit, I created multiple views. I won't go through these all over again, but they have the same sort of look and selection out of, so you can focus on one particular thing that you're interested in. The ones that I would typically look at if I wanted to sort them by different criteria. There's a surety bond registry. In the retail energy business, typically surety bonds are going to be required when you post with government agencies like the state commissions. So again, we have a unique ID for the entity based on input here, the name of the surety, the bond number, the obligee, the state in which the obligation is being done. Yeah, let's go back here. And then we would have also the amount, issuance date, the expiration date, the evergreen or a termination date designation, any notes, for example, if a particular surety bond had been canceled, and a copy of the surety bond that would be actually available. Finally, in the cash registry, you probably not going to use this very often, but you might be posting collateral cash with a third party, for example, some commissions, or maybe with a trading company, a wholesale trading company. Again, the unique ID is automatically generated. You would have the cash recipient and holder of the cash, the amount of the cash, and then in this field, the copy of the cash receipt. This field, this table here just has the list of the states that are used to be pulled up, for example, in the surety bonds registry. Under blocks, what I've done to help get you started is, first of all, we have a description of what the collateral management tool contains, what features it has. I have a table here, that you could duplicate and for other things, but for example, for letters of credit, it would have those who are recipients of the letter of credit, and then a bar chart showing the relative amount of money that's posted for them, so that you have a quick view. Management might want to know as to where the largest letter of credits exist. You then also have countdown timers for each of the various forms of collateral that would tell you, when a particular collateral was going to be expiring. So you have that visual. You also have these alerts. so that if it gets within 60 days of the expiration date for any one of these forms of collateral, an alarm will go off for that particular collateral. One of the things I think that the strongest benefit of using Airtable is that you have a share button here. So you can share not only the table, but also just views of particular tables, and also of the views themselves. You can select one that you want to share with somebody. You can do that by a link. You can give them access depending on what you want to do. You can embed it on a website if you wanted to. I'm not sure that you would want to do that, but you could. And this will give your management some peace of mind, because if they wanted to look at one thing, let's say the 60-day view for letters of credit, and you just shared that view with shared that with them, then they could check it every morning and just see what's upcoming and if anything is going to expire in the next 60 days, to make sure there's transparency and accountability and nothing slips between the cracks. So again, this is a very powerful tool, much better than trying to communicate via email, Windows folders, or Excel spreadsheets. And I think that one of the key advantages too is that it provides for business continuity. If somehow someone who's responsible for this in your accounting department, for example, were to be ill or out for several months or leave, you wouldn't require someone coming in to have to sit down and pour through Excel spreadsheets and Windows folders to find out what's going on with the collateral management. They could just go to this tool and immediately sit down and intuitively discover what's up, what's due, what's outstanding, do some analysis using blocks to look at pivot tables and things like that if they wanted to better manage the collateral. And it also gives you access to list management, get in there and get its hands dirty if it wants to do a deeper dive on what's out there without actually having to go to people in the accounting department to actually do some analysis and then prepare a PowerPoint or whatever. That the COO or the CFO could get in there and just kind of do some quick searches and make some key critical decisions. So I hope you find this table useful. I am a big believer in Airtable and the power that it offers, and it brings this business up to a whole new level. So I thank you for your time. I have other tools available. Just visit retailenergywizard.com or go to my YouTube channel, where I have a number of videos with tools and tips about the business. Thank you very much.